Welcome to the party. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the party. Hey, we all got the invitation a long time ago. Welcome. Welcome. I see Palace clips in here. I see that. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the action. Welcome back. Haven't even gotten a chance to say hi. You know how it be sometimes on the road. It's like Planet of the Apes. Nice to be back. Just a little bit of road sodas. We've become roadmen. Hey, get warmed up. Get warmed up with me. Week's been fun. Getting back to basics. Conjuring up a lot of stuff that I know that needs to come out. And that means comedy. Oh boy, does that mean comedy. So looking to keep everyone excited and on the meat wagon. Built ourselves a meat wagon. I'm just trying to put it into words that make sense. Because I'll be damned if I look at the news. So I just wanted to keep everyone abreast of of that. Some chundon is what I'm really fancying right now. I'm just gonna say, just because I know it's upon reflection, it's not obvious. We're doing a little bit of this. White sticks. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. A fun weekend we have to spend together. Isn't it nice to always be spending the weekend together? It's interesting, isn't it? We're always spending the weekend together. Isn't it interesting how we're always spending the weekend together? I just think it's silly if you look at it. I guess if you put it like that. Yeah, weekend at Bernie's. Welcome. I've been reading. I've been. I enjoyed Skankfest, reading and networking and doing stand up. You know, just have it, just the usual these days. So it's been a lot of fun. Everyone's just getting a whole lot better, and that's the idea. You want me to distill it for you? The experience on the road is always be getting better. I know it's nebulous. I get it. I just want to say, Army of Tigers. Thanks for the sawbuck. Excuse me. It was crazy there. It's crazy there. Going to like a comedy festival is insane. It's crazy. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Oh my god, it's insane. Well, anyway, who's ever been sane? Maybe unsane or too sane? I don't know how to describe the state of mind that we're always reaching for. What is it? What is it? Unsane. Yeah, sane. Hey, what's up, Bleach? I'm just, it's weird to be back. It's weird to go on the road, weird to be back. The family's coming back soon. Isn't that weird? Macro, yo. Insane. Yeah, exactly. Insane. I can't believe we forgot that one in the litany. That's, wow. Pickled brains. Pickled brains never recover and then they die. Have you ever heard that turn of phrase? Army of Tigers, another 5 bones, pal. Really appreciate it. What's this? You're pointing me? What are you pointing? Any updates on the release of Extreme Peace? Love the streamer sketch. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Had a fun time in that one. It's gonna be soon. Let me put it that way. Let me put it this way. Before the next year. Let me just put it that way, if I may be so bold. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know what I was rambling about. No, I'm just doing just getting the engines firing. There's a lot of pistons that go out of business when you're not working thus. You ever heard that phrase? Pistons going out of business in a car? So excited about that. Excuse me. Pedals doesn't work. I got, that the BJ bike. I don't know if that was Mr. Dunn that made that in the Jackass days. Remember he had the bike that he was pedaling it and it would just give him head. Well, I've got some pedals over here. Much similar contraption. Was it Chris? Okay, it was Chris. Chris Pontius. Okay, that's okay. I don't believe you though. I think you're wrong, but who am I to judge? It was probably nobody on the bike. Well, I just wanted to tell you that my pedal's not working. So you're going to hear a lot more belching, barfing, all different kinds of ejaculations. I'm just trying to get silly. I'm just trying to get silly. Just trying to. I'm just. No, there's a lot of news. There's a lot of fun stuff going on there right now. We can get into a really silly state. But you know me. The silliest man alive, perhaps. Always in a bit of a silly state. Just give me a second while I get soothed by this paint thinner. Know what I'm saying? Was Dave Dave? Okay, was Dave England? Okay, I knew it was someone else. But I have a machine like that. And I'm smoking a little bit. Sometimes you get into habits. Sometimes you wean back onto nasty habits when you're on the road. And what I mean by that is doing a glory hole at a gas station. Things that are usually they're irresistible when you're on the road. Yo, nasty, what's up? More dates? I had maybe a dream or maybe something about more Canada dates, but I believe that there'll be a return. I just hope it's not in the winter. Uh, but though we definitely had a really good time there. That was like another life. This last year, it's been like inner light. Remember that old classic Next Generation episode? This last year's been another lifetime. Well, it's nice. Hmm. It's just a bit sweet. Oi. So, Canada soon, hopefully not in the winter. That was just last time we were there. We had black toes. It was the indigenous natives of the land, the black toe Indian. Or whatever. So back home, enjoying. Be back on the road again pretty soon. Got the family coming. So wanted to get everyone warmed up for that. There's some chundon cooking that is going to sate. There's going to be some satiation, and that's a promise. So keep on doing a rain dance for that. So I just wanted to tell you that. Western Canada, huh? What's that? What could that possibly mean? Well, I mean, what is it like there? You were in the Toronto area, weren't you? There's Chundon coming, and it's going to please you. Oh, BC or Alberta. Okay. Looks like it's just Dream Man. Remember Dream Man? He had his eyes open, but they were just dreams. Yeah, he's one of them. So, the news has been pretty hot lately. I've been pretty happy about that. Anybody happy about the news? Anyone catch any shows at Skankfest? Those guys are crazy. Those guys are crazy. They're crazy. These guys are crazy. Yo, Uzakas. Thanks for the 10 bones, pal. Thanks for your service. To the longing souls of this world, I met you and the crew at the Tampa show and made sure to say you guys changed my life. Hey, thanks again. Can't be thankful enough. You guys cultivate purpose. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. It's always nice to... I'm in the algorithm? Come on, like the stream. It's always nice to... You give a little. You give a little, you get a whole lot back. So the news has been hot, and we've been changing lives over here. Too many laughs. I mean, I don't even know. There's a lot to say about this. So much to say about Skankfest. Talk about it on the Palace, sure. There's so much. There were a lot of legends there. Chris Kattan was... I mean... I always knew he was the best. Ever since I saw him jump up on Sting as the monkey, he's been at the top of the roster. I was more of an SCTV man myself, but that's not really an apt comparison. I just never, I don't know when the years were when I watched SNL the most. I just don't. The Phil Hartman years, I remember the most. It's pretty much the Phil Hartman years I remember the most. But Chris, he was such a a walking legend, a supreme legend, and it was nice to see. It was just good. Not everyone. No, I mean he was just really, really nice. And he said he had fun. He said the comedy was a lot of fun. Everything was awesome. It was real. It was just, I couldn't believe it. You don't usually get treatment like that. Let me put it that way. It was great. It makes me want to revisit the days, revisit the Chris Kattan years. Oh my goodness. It's been so many years. It's enough to make you crazy if you're 1,000 years old. Please like the stream, or it's just the credits will start rolling. We're going to have to talk about the Joker at some point, right, Nasty? From what I've seen, unless you guys want to get heavy, I don't know if you want to do a poll. Well, let's just do a mix. Let's just keep switching it up. It's crazy. Chris was so good. He's so good. The last I checked, in regards to the Joker, to see if the Joker was having a 1 or not, you know what I mean? It was looking like a scene out of Sleepers, which is a movie. I mean, we can talk about cinema. I don't know. Let's see. Let me look at this for a second here. Okay, yeah, whatever. Talk on cinema should always come with a disclaimer of some sort, in that watching movies can be very deleterious to your spiritual health. And they should always come with a warning. So, you enjoy these things at your own at your own peril. I do a little bit of filtering for everyone so we can enjoy these things all together if you want me to eat it for you. Anyway, I don't want to keep rambling about that. Sleepers from, I don't know, 96, something around there. It's a pretty big. It's a rather memorable classic from the '90s. One of Brad Pitt's classics. Bob De Niro. Bob De Niro back in the days when a priest would bust you in the chops if you were, I don't know, a fruit or something like that. But it's got some very hardcore subject matter within the movie that could be pretty damaging, could bring back some memories from people. Movies, you got to be careful with movies. They could bring back a lot of events that may or may not have happened to you in your life. So, sometimes when you watch Sleepers, you see a lot of abuse. It was a little bit of people that are, I guess, enjoy conspiracies will be pretty familiar with this kind of systemic abuse, or rather, prison. I don't know what to call it. Schools, prisons, whatever the hell, as potential farms for, or rather, spicy proclivities. Kind of taboo, the house of taboo, a farm of the taboo. It's pretty insane. But anyway, there's a lot of subject matter in that movie that is a bit brutal for the layman. For the layman, I guess it's a bit brutal, but for a salty dog cinema viewer, it's like nothing. It is nothing. Anyway, it's really really funny. Well, you have to laugh at it if it's in a movie. Kevin Bacon, Billy something, Billy Billy Bones, Billy something, I forget. And it was someone else too. There was some other classic one there. I don't. Well, I was just comparing that to what I saw in the new Joker because I discovered in my surfing that the Joker was forced into sex acts while incarcerated. I thought that was a bit gay for starters. Well, hey, who am I to judge? But I think it's a bit interesting. It's a bit abusive. It's hardcore. I mean, we're in a time right now, of course, when you consider the raped, etc. I ushered it in. To be honest with you, I've been that stuff's been boiling in my heart for many years now, waiting for the day that this would all be just run of the mill discussions. But the rape got big when we made it big, and I thought it's just really wild. But now I guess everyone's ready for that sort of torment, which is great because it's right up my alley, to be honest with you. So I wasn't pleased. Well, I wasn't. I didn't have an opinion on the Joker 2, anything I saw from it, because I'm gonna come clean with everybody. I'm gay. I haven't seen Joker 1, and I'm not trying to be a nerd, and I'm not proud. I refuse to watch it. I'm not trying to be that guy by using actually. I'm not. I refuse to watch the Joker. I won't do it. That's all. I've heard it was good, and I've heard it was bad. There's mixed reviews. Me, I choose not to view it. And the second one, that was a no-brainer. There's not a chance in hell I'll be watching it. Now, of course, we'll talk about it. Now, if he's getting held down and forced to take dick and stuff like that, it looks like we get a lot to talk about. Now, who asked for that? Or who said that we needed that? Nobody. And now look, there's no shortage of the raped, and there's no deficit of the need for it, in that the awareness of it is what I mean by that. And gosh darn, I wouldn't even play freaking the Resident Evil 3 remake after I saw Jill. That was Jill, right? Remember the clothes that everyone wears in that? Remember Jill? She was freaking taking a huge alien snake down her throat, and it was ejaculating inside of her. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who asked for this? Who asked for this? You can't skip it. You got to watch it. She's like trying to push it away. She's taking it. She has to take it. The thing's freaking ejaculating all different kind of alien semen inside of her. And then it just pulls out, and she gets her gun back up. I just watching it. What am I being subjected to? What is this? The only thing it was missing was X-ray vision. So you could see well, you know what I mean? I mean, why don't they just go all the way? Why don't they have an inside cam? Why don't you have X-ray vision too while the thing's like it's hosing its payload? X-ray in there. Why not? That's what I would do. Yeah, yeah, I'm just saying if you want it done right, my way is preferable, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to remake Resident Evil 3 remake. Yeah. Oh, it's yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired because it was just so nasty. I don't need to see a woman take that. You, I mean, what am I gonna sit here and rave about it? Well, why not? I don't. What? Who ordered? Who's the doctor? Who's the doctor that ordered that prescription? Hey, you're gonna see this woman take this alien ejaculating appendage right down her throat. The thing is going to be going in and out. She's going to be groaning, and she can't get rid of it. She has to take it. He signs his name on it. He gives it to you. You're filling it in at the pharmacy. He's writing with a vape. Like, what is this? Whose bright idea was that? The raped. You see, you find as you progress in years in your life that the raped is behind perhaps everything in your life. You ever consider that? Excuse you. It's sort of what I've subtly been trying to say my whole life in my own special way. Not trying to say, or just letting everyone know in my own special energy. So, I refuse to watch The Joker. I do not refuse to watch Sleepers. Now, I know it's got some fruity stuff in it. Okay? I get that. But I don't know how to I don't know how to justify that. In watching that or enjoying that, I actually really don't. Um, I don't know. I do damage to movies when I watch them. It's not the other way around. I damage a movie when I watch it. So the movies are afraid of me when they come around. All right? What do you think about that? The movies are like under the desk when the Terminator comes walking around and he's fluffing his you know, his pipe. He's fluffing his pipe, getting it ready. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to reiterate that that's how I would do that scene in Resident Evil 3 remake. I would use inside cam and I would use X-ray vision for the payload. Now I'm not saying I'm proud of that. I'm just saying. Makes me want to put on Ricky O again. Remember we did that on Twitch years ago? I don't mean to be Mr. Memory Lane. Always Mr. Memory Lane. Margot Lane. Remember Margot Lane from The Shadow? Remember the Shadow's using his hypnosis on women? He's getting them to do whatever he wants, whatever he fancies at the time. The lights go dim and it's just his eyes. It's something else, isn't it? That was a good one. But Ricky O, I mean, we watched Ricky O on here. Those are the days. Dark days. Dark Dave. Power Dave. So anyway, I don't want to just reminisce about movies. I would use those techniques, but I won't watch the Joker. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I mean, who the hell asked for it? I know some people whose opinion I respect say it was good. I'm going to say that again. 12. Hold. Where am I at? Ah, yeah. Oh, whoa. Okay. Yo, Civil Zoo. Thanks for the 10 quid. Appreciate you a lot. Been following a long time. I wonder if Mr. Orange Orangutan White Jen really is the biblical AC. What is that? Fits the bill? Dunno if you want to talk about that. I don't. I don't know. What are you saying? Thanks for that, pal. Fake Cell, thanks for the 15 bones. Am I crazy to think that relatable characters are made lately just to be R-worded or disavowed to destroy the people that like them mentally? I like this. Like the stream, guys. Hey, that's good advice. That's a good question too. Unless you want to just continue with the cinema. I don't mean to break it up like this. Sometimes you have to break things up. It all connects. Everything is designed that you are subjected to, or that you consume on TV or the cinema. Like everything. Everything I was watching, I was at a bar. I was like, I'm going to watch some game shows on TV or something cool. And I'm in there, and it's Yellowstone. You know, the stupid ass meme that I've been seeing. White Fang or White Wolf. You know what I mean? White Fang, right? Or the guy from No Way Out, Gene Hackman and Sean Young and John Paxton, right? That's another one. Kevin Costner. The Bodyguard. Remember Watch This? Of course. Anyway, I was like, oh man. These things I avoid like an AIDS dick, honestly. I see that thing and it looks like Mario Land. And I'm like, I don't ever want to watch this show. But I'm sitting there at the bar and I'm like, I'm watching. And there's this kid that was kidnapped and they're getting a raid going, killing people, looking for this kid. He's out on a farm somewhere. They're shooting people and all this stuff. I don't know. They're just doing a raid. It's cowboys. They're all wearing suits. So he's got a drink in his hand. You have a fucking dog. That was the best line from the season. Yellowstone, Kevin Costner. It was an odd question that he asked Pocahontas. Some guy was getting his fill. Some guy, I don't know if he was married to her, but there was sort of a Pocahontas character in the script for him. He was getting his fill with her. Let me put it that way. So they're doing the raid, and they're all cowboys, and there's one lady on the show. I don't know if she's blonde or something, but she's always dressed, and her face is always battered in, like she's had her ass beat her whole life. This isn't from the Joker. This is from Yellowstone, and her face is battered. It's like she got. I mean, for as long as I've known her in the whole show, her face got bruises on it, and she's always chasing dick. You know what I mean? She's always looking for something to freaking gets. Well, anyway. They're doing the raid on this guy's compound. They're shooting people. Guy has cowboy hats on. He's got a drink in his hand. It's elegance. He's got expensive boots on. He's got a suit on. They're at a funeral or something. I don't know. But they get into the compound. They're looking for the kid. And there's apparently Nazis of some variety. When's the last? Dude, I got a secret for you. Come here. Anyone else listen? I was like, you want to meet a real Nazi? You better have a time machine. I was like, well, how the hell are you meeting bona fide Nazis if you don't have a damn time machine, Willis? So there's, I guess, time traveling Nazis from a bygone era that reintegrated into our society. I don't know, one of the guy's sons or something. I don't know, but all I saw were flags of don't tread on me. Remember the flag? Remember the coiled serpent? Does that sound familiar? There was don't tread on me, Benjamin Franklin's original concept for the American flag, allegedly. Everywhere, and this guy sitting down Indian style. It's like he's freaking like an Indian. It's like he's about ready to do tantric sex with Jim Carrey, to be honest with you. So I guess this guy knew where the kid was being held, where the child, and his his shirt says something about Second Amendment rights, like a rifle and Second Amendment, come get him or something. I have a patch like that. Athena got me a bunch of them. And I got one of the patches that one of the shooters did a few months ago. So looking at it when I saw the pictures. But anyway, I got one of the gun ones, and I'm like, oh, here we go. This guy is he's Second Amendment. He's don't tread on me. You don't like to get screwed with. You want to be left alone, or if you like to enjoy your rights, I guess, as a sovereign. If you want to talk about it that way, I guess you're a time traveling Nazi. What's a damn Nazi you're gonna find these days? What's he 150? What's he 375 years old by now? When did it even happen? That war, freaking 400 years ago? I don't even. Who knows? A space museum, like in DS9. Remember that museum? Woo! That was a heavy episode. So anyway, this guy with the Second Amendment shirt on, he's a skinhead, of course. He's what you call a Nazi. He's a Nazi in 2024. They're still Nazis. He's 150 years old. What the fuck? So they're asking this guy where the kid is. You'll never guess what he does. He pulls out a gun. He blows his brains out in front of the whole room. I'm like, oh my god. Immediately, I look at him like, so that's the messaging, I guess. I mean, how am I? I will have to get someone else in here, Jay or Owen. We'll have to get someone else in here to diagnose the messaging of that scene. But it felt a bit weighted with coding, perhaps politically. That's my gut reaction I got to it. It was so stupid. Yeah. This guy out in the woods with Pocahontas. This shit was crazy. They had, now, this show didn't skip. Now, let me put it this way. This show didn't skip. It had inside cam and it had x-ray cam for when, you know what I mean? This show didn't skip. This show did not go halfway. You don't go, Chundon, you don't go halfway. So that was impressive about the show. And that woman's face was always bruised. I'm impressed by that. There's always a brown drink in Kevin's hand. I can go for that. Not enough smoking, honestly. Not enough smoking. I didn't like it. Yeah, it was, well, that's my opinion. That's my review of Yellowstone. There's a lot of Pocahontas sex in it. A lot of her walking around underwear on in the house, looking submissive. Like the Land O'Lakes days. Remember them days before they took Ben off the box? And everyone's favorite aunt off the box. Remember those days? Oh my goodness. Breedable. Yeah, people, when she walked in the room, guys were thinking about breeding with her. They're thinking about x-ray cam. It's so stupid. You get everything even before you were born. The shows were like that. Even before you were born, the situation I just explained right now, you call it what you want. You call it by whatever fever you wish to call it. It's been around since day one. There's always a sort of a breeding program happening in all the shows. So anyway, I was impressed by that, and who else? Yeah, I mean, that's my review of the show. Bug filled sex out in the grass and the leaves and the woods. Peace pipes, rain dance, teepees, war drums. Crazy, man. All sorts of innuendo. All sorts of innuendo. Every single shot with the clothes and the booties, everything. I mean, but I guess that's just regular cinema. That's regular filmmaking. But it's just interesting when you see a new show. Joker 2 looks good. I like that line. So, uh, so silly. Yeah, I just don't ever want to see it again. I don't ever want to see it again. I just don't ever want to see it again, ever. Kevin Costner, unless he's saying, watch this. Hey, watch this. Unless he's saying that, unless he's with Gene Hackman, Fred Thompson, or yeah, right, something like that. He was in there too. Bill Paxton, maybe not even Bill Paxton, maybe the other guy. I don't know. I'm getting some confused. Sean Young, Gene Hackman. No Way Out. Pretty interesting. Unless it's that, dude. Kevin. Most people have never put on. Think of this. Think of the statistics. Most people have never sat down and put on and enjoyed The Bodyguard. Yo, Caesar, what's up? Damn, you did Batch with Joker too? Oh, whoa. He's in Sleepers. All the cops and all the prison guards, they want to fuck a guy. That's what they want to do. Yeah, I'll do it if I get the chance. Yikes. 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 Well, anyway, as long as they got inside cam and they got X-ray cam, then I'll put my stamp on it. But if not, I just think it doesn't go far enough. If you're gonna go, you don't go halfway. You know what that woman said to Chundone once he drove his point home? Boy, Chundone, you don't go halfway. Ah, well, be careful what you let inside of your head. Unless it's got the right cams, it could do some serious damage. The Joker, people said it was, I don't know, people, a guy was singing. He got his Harley or something. He's got that woman in it. Oh, I was going to post about something that made no sense at all. Hold on, let me see this. Anyway, I'll just keep it to myself. But I'm to understand it's a musical. There's people singing and dancing in it. Do the guards sing and dance while they're pouring cinnamon on their dicks? Freaking cinnamon toast crunch chefs throwing you in a hell in a cell. Wendell and freaking Wargu. The other one, remember the third one? Wanazi. He had a weird name. Cinnamon Challenge. That's what they should have called Joker too. It's called Cinnamon Challenge. Yeah, I don't know. A beating at the, was it box office poison of some sort? Now, I think Joaquin Phoenix, I think he's guilty of taking down a sort of a homosexual role lately. I think he was like, you know what? I don't feel like that. I'll pass a couple weeks before they start shooting. So funny. Oh, it's funny. Hey, Joker. Watch this. Ghost peppers. I'm getting there. Those are his last words. Yeah, well, I don't know. I can only have so much opinion on because I refuse to watch the movies. Now, what it just did, is that, now I know the rape, we sort of, it's been walking among us like Tash from the last battle as of late. But who asked for a sleeper scene with the Joker? Did anyone here ask for that? Now, we all know the guys that made the movie, they all got that treatment. Look, we all understand that that's what they had to do to get into the club. Look, we all get that. But who asked for that? Are these people that addicted to venerating and glorifying and exposing what they have been subjected to or whatnot? You know what I mean? I don't know. Obsessions. Joker 3. Obsession. Now what? Now consider these Joker movies. I mean, what the hell kind of state is Batman in the Joker world? What is Batman like? It's Andy Dick playing Robin. And Batman. I couldn't even guess who Batman would be. Probably, maybe Jaden Smith is in the white Batman suit. That's who I would cast as Batman. There it is. The Joker 3, the Batman. That sounds kind of good, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so as long as Josef Fritzl designs the Batcave, then we have no problems, friend. That's all. Excuse me? Last time I watched Batman Begins with my wife, we were crying laughing. When Batman first came on the scene, he did his first crime thing. When he broke into that guy's car and he announced himself as Batman, and then he fucking pulled him up through the car, we had to pause it. We were crying laughing. Oh, that's funny. Crispin Glover as Batman. That's a good one. That's a good one. Crispin is the thing about Crispin is that he's too good. You know what I'm saying? He's the kind of guy that's too good. So he should be someone else. Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. I think if he were to ever do the role as perhaps the Riddler, he should draw inspiration from the credits from What Is It? It's Vince. Vince is Batman. Yeah, well, hey, cinema, there is more. This is spoilers here. I like this. Oh, okay. Well, let's get, yeah, okay, we have some points in here, actually. Similar numbers to Mobius debut. Now that's Mobin time. That's Jared Leto, the climbing man. Now he is Angel Face, right? From Fight Club. Is that a Jer? Or what? So that's interesting. 3 times lower than the first. That's interesting. Boy George, that's a good one. Yeah, I hear you, Nasty. I hear ya. It would be better if it were Boy George in. Remember when he was Remember he was doing some time after kidnapping and maybe sodomizing this guy. Yeah, it's interesting proclivities the guy has. Freaking lay off him. Who am I to judge? Remember he kidnapped some guy and he was sodomizing him in a chair or something like that. He had like a chair built for it. He was doing some time as a street sweeper. It should be that version of him as perhaps Bane. Or maybe even, no, maybe one of the cartoon guys that's not, I don't know if he's in the canon, which I'm embarrassed to even say canon when it comes to his story. It's embarrassing, honestly. I really shouldn't be doing those things. Remember the guy with the TikTok glasses? I always liked him. Remember how much Batman always used to need to bang? What were them's names? What were those objects? Selena. Remember Selena? Remember Batman and them? They used to get along. And Poison Ivy. Remember? I don't know what her name is. Probably something stupid. Remember? Remember Batman and them? They always used to have a special relationship. There was always a certain kind of tension. Thought it was interesting back in the day. Karen. Woo. Karen Ivy. Now I'm getting different names. Who? Which one of the women? Which one was named George Floyd? That show. Whew. My favorite thing about the Batman show was Kevin Conway, right? Conway, the Batman. My favorite thing about Batman show is or his politics, or were his politics. But the best thing about Batman, of course, that everyone knows already, is Mark Hamill's performance as the Joker is like it's not it's straight up out of a madhouse. Conroy, there it is, there it is. Conroy. Is that Mark Hamill or did he die after the motorcycle accident? His Joker is unbelievable. And even Kevin's Batman is unbelievable. The show was very, very good. The visuals and no one here should be a stranger to bathhouse encounters. Please like the stream or Saturday turns into Sunday. So, Batman and Robin Sega Genesis says you couldn't imagine how good developers used to be back then. If we put on footage from that game, you wouldn't imagine what the Sega Genesis was pushed to process. You fast forward it to these days, I won't even bother saying. So, that's the Joker for you. I can only wonder. They really should do a Joker 3, The Batman. Or maybe Batman, The Joker 3. Hmm. I'm going to have to see Suicide Squad again, honestly. Remember that one was a little bit good. I had Will Smith. Remember Will Smith? I think Will Smith was in it. This is fun. I just don't remember anything from the movie. All I remember is the me. Remember the one that me was in it? That that one in the royal family of some sort. Looks like me dancing around. Hold on a second here. Let me get acclimated. Yo, Lost Futures. Thanks for the membership, pal. Outrition, thanks for the 5 bones, pal. 12-inch Virgin, thanks for the 15. Hey, Charles, I liked the stream on all 5 of my alt accounts. Thanks. Your streams helped me get through my factory job. Thanks. The self is a quaternity of the body, mind, heart, and soul. All right. All right. The core of all magic is focus. I can't disagree with anything you just said. I know that the heart, I've been thinking about the heart lately. I've been thinking about willpower lately. I've been thinking about thoughts lately. You know, these things, the energy and what you have, what it means to have time, what it means to exercise your will with time, what these things even mean. And what reasons should you be doing things for at all? I don't know. Maybe we're going to slide into this. Maybe it's going to be the old in and out. Been thinking a lot about that lately. About the heart. About how thought is required and how you make movies in your mind. And how even watching a movie, you forfeit your time and you serve a another will. That's all. That's all. Just been thinking about those things lately. How thoughts, and we've touched upon these things for many years, but especially as of late, with perhaps upgraded definitions over the course of experience years. A thought that makes you feel bad, a thought of worry, a thought of something bad, some bad things playing out in your head, are thoughts that they're from hell. They are from hell. And I like those ideas. And I like that if you are having thoughts in your head in English, it indicates to me that its origin is from a demon. I'll say it. I don't care. It's interesting because when you get, you can talk about blocking thoughts off. You can talk about filtering thoughts. You can talk about doing the opposite. You can talk about these things forever. You can talk about them forever. And I would say again, in its I'm looking for some conclusive ideas. Some ideas that have a beginning, middle, and ending that are autonomous and can be executed. Okay? Not just redefinition. It comes to a conclusion at some point, or perhaps maybe you can't come to a conclusion. Blah, blah, blah. But what I mean to say is the abdication, an entertaining of an evil thought or a thought in English that is not in your best interests or that derails you from the tasks at hand, things that you know you need to do. Not that a voice is telling you have to do. There are things that you know. So that's a different kind of a thing, perhaps. At least I'm looking for it. But what I mean is choosing to entertain and be slowed down and be robbed and have your destiny and birthright diminished by having hijacked the only power that you have is your focus and your thinking and your attention span. It's an abdication of God's will and to turn to specifically serving your own. And it seems counterproductive a bit, but you always wonder, you always look for the reasons why people punish themselves or whatever the hell, I don't know, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, act against their own benefit. And I would put forth that it is because the strict serving of one's own will is the abdication of serving. I would put this forth of serving your whatever you're built for, your duty, your destiny, God's will, whatever you want to call it. I would just put that forth. The difference between what is that choice? Why are there choices? What are those choices really? Is it just willpower? Is it just discipline? Is it just weakness? I don't, whatever. Or is it the serving of one's will or the serving of God's? I just look for conclusive definitions of these things. That's all. The discernment of these things. The cyclical discussion of the same thing yields a net negative in the long run. Perhaps. I don't know. I'm not going to stop doing what we do. But in order to not be blind, the right reasons must be known. Otherwise, there is, the blindness. The blindness is thus, like the shadows on the wall, to not be cognizant of motivating factors, of driving factors that the civilization is based around, the control of, causes blindness. Not blindness, but the blindness. Whatever the passage is from whatever. The God of this world has blinded all those who do not believe. Most people do not believe that they can be hypnotized or controlled by ways unbeknownst to them and against their will. That's beyond the imagination of normal people. It's like a spinal thing. I would put that forth. The proper reasons, just like chastity, for example. The proper reasons, the proper spiritual reasons for a lot of jabbering from the church, let's say what people normally recognize it is as. You strip the reasons out of there and it becomes just nannying or regular control. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You strip the right reasons or the right questions. I don't know the right, what is a question or a reason? I don't know. No, I don't know. Just I see a lot of these concepts people go around forever. If there's not a sufficient reason that you should live your life a certain way, then you will be blind to perhaps higher living. The blindness is like that. Okay? Okay. And that's one of them. Are there choices in your life if you have an understanding in what righteousness is or the right thing or whatever? I don't know, call it whatever you want. If you have that knowing, then you have a relationship with God. Efina, yo, what's going on? How's it going? And not serving what you know and not behaving or not living a life every second, every minute. I know, a lot of these things are tall orders, but I'm just trying to define these things in ways that stick. Then it isn't a failure of willpower. I mean, it's a failure, and only a failure of willpower in that it is abdicating the necessity of God's will over one's own will, which can be hijacked by blindness and shadows, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like a spinal thing. You ever get spinal before? So I would say that. Hmm. I would say that. And this is in order to clarify a perfect version of yourself that you're destined to operate as. I don't know how else to put it. That's what I am trying to describe. And I can only describe that as knowledge of God or a relationship with God. I don't define it as someone who is born automatically with this or that. They know this or that. I don't know. I don't know if I can define it like that. Those who fall are those who do not listen. They only listen to the English in their heads. English comes from hell in one's own mind. Generally speaking. What do you think about that? Please like the stream. What do you think about that? Anyone have an opinion on that? Anyone have an opinion on that one a little bit? So it's not a choice. It's whether you choose to live or you choose to die. That's the only choice. A life, a subpar life, is death. So there is no choice. The choice. It's only a choice for those who have the blindness and are baffled by the shadows on the wall. It's not exactly a choice. Because even to put the choice on yourself, you have the power to choose. You can choose to do as you will or what you feel, depending on how wise you are, know what your perfect life should be in any given moment. Seeing it as a choice seems fallen automatically in that it's a submission to your own will first and foremost, even if you do choose rightly. It seems to me there is no choice unless you abdicate your inheritance and your destiny. If you abdicate those, you have the choice and you serve your own will. So it just seems that's what it's kind of seeming like to me lately. That's all. I'm intrigued by it lately. That's all. A perpetual fallen state is what it amounts to. Just intrigued by it. Well, that's a good one. Whoa. Where am I? Okay. Ryan O, thanks for the membership. Gummy. Sanguini. Chariot, thanks for the 20 bones, pal. Ooh, should I get out of the military while I can or finish up my contract? Got 3 years and some change. Could just get a job and learn a trade. I'm 19. Also, Joker 3 leaks say Batman scares him straight and then back gay. I can hear that. I can hear that. I was thinking about that a little bit before. It's interesting that you. Wow, that's crazy. It's really good. But thanks for that. And yeah, I don't, dude. I don't know. It seems like military service. It seems a bit twisted. Who am I to judge, though? Wars and such. After what we know about wars, my goodness. Yo, Barbatus, what's up? Oz, yo, what's up? Scared sexless like Godzilla. How you guys doing? We were just going crazy a little bit. We were getting pretty deep. And then we started getting even crazier, thinking about the military. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what would be the benefits of being in the military these days. I can only imagine what's next. You'd probably just get deployed in the United States, shooting people that go outside after the sun is down, or that that try to trade with, give each other water and supplies. Probably get orders to shoot those people. Speed Sneeze. You ever heard of him? But I'll tell you, you can learn a lot. You can get a skill set from the military, pensions and all this stuff, school. Looking back now, military would have been preferable to even going to high school. But I don't know. It's hard for me to advise on that stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. Uzakas. Thanks for the sawbuck, pal. Metaphysical Mike, thanks for the 20 bones, pal. That's tender. Owen, thanks for the 10 bones, pal. Hey, Charles, curious about your thoughts on Latter day Saints in the Book of Mormon. I'm not a Mormon myself, but I'm deadly curious about their culture. You're willing to die. They have some very intelligent and very and well-spoken apologists. Thanks, man. I straight up don't know any. Hey, thanks for that. I don't know anything about them at all. The only thing I know is the animation that I was saving for so long, and I wanted to play live one day, but I just figured it's probably a bad idea. This the old Mormon little infomercial from the 70s. You know what I mean? The ones that said like the angels that the one that had a special scene that said the angels that were indifferent or fought against God and the war in heaven were cursed to reincarnate with black skin. I thought that was interesting, but it seemed a bit, perhaps, maybe a bit, perhaps too provocative to be streaming. But I always thought that was interesting. But no, I know so little. What is it? If you're good or something, you get a planet when you die, and you can baptize people posthumously and stuff like some weird stuff. And I don't know, there's a lot of there's a lot of sex, perhaps, that goes that's around a lot of the smell of sex in the air. Smell of sex, I don't care. I love the smell of it. Remember Rihanna said that? Sex in the air, I don't care. I love the smell of it. She likes the smell of it. The sex in the air. She's in Barbados doing chicken voodoo. Well, anyway, I don't know anything about that. All I know is that it makes sense to me that the biblical events happened in North America, and perhaps Utah is where the tribe of Judah settled. See, that sort of stuff makes sense to me because the Middle East is so cursed. Only the devil would wish to reside there. The Middle East is so cursed, it's absolutely unbelievable, and that stuff happened in North America. I see that to me makes sense. So, in other words, all the wars they're all for nothing. Well, they're not. It's harvest time. Enjoy. The pyramid never ended. The pyramid with the hearts rolling down there. We all know this by now, right? Certain treatments that women enjoy, certain contraceptive treatments they enjoy, and wars that are ceaseless. The pyramids were never toppled. The hearts continue the descent. So I'm intrigued by that. Thanks, Owen. Torchbearer, thanks for the sawbuck, pal. Extra 5 to get my chat read. Forgive my ignorance, thanks. Hey, thanks for that, pal. Anonymous, thanks for the $10, pal. Been living out of my car a while. I'm in between apartments. That sounds interesting. And these streams have kept my thoughts positive and sane. They have to be, man. It's your holy duty. It's the abdication of God's will when you entertain bad thoughts. It's just Evil thoughts. Let's just call them evil thoughts. That's all. Is it Cain coded, Oz? You probably know something about the Latter-day Saints. I just don't know anything. I just don't see what I don't see why there would be a continuation of the saga after the Christ redemption. It just seems crazy to me. But what do I know? You get your own planet. Who wants things? You're planning your afterlife out? Yeah, it's like Animal Crossing. You want things in the next world? I'm getting a planet and I'm or even this world, or I mean it's not just the Mormons that think that they should control their own planet. It's not just the Mormons. No, it's also the familiar people. That sort of advice and strategy can only come from hell. Hey, if you enslave all the cattle or whatever, you make it a slave planet. It's your birth. Like that seems like whispers from hell, whispers from a Ouija board. That's how it is. What do you think about that? So, I'm intrigued about their theories on curses. I find those to be pretty interesting. But I don't know. Like, there's another. Like, why would there be more prophets? There's another prophet. Let's do it again, boys. Doesn't that seem crazy to you? We're doing it again. And I can't get over Jesus Christ saying that revelation and that everyone would pay for everything that happened in that world within everyone's lifetime. I can't forget that. I can't forget that. All the revelation he said it was going to happen in the lifetime of the people he was telling it to in the Gospels. See, to me, that's weird. Rivals public schools due to their bizarre testimony. Yeah, I hear you, Barbatus. Yeah. I mean, when you run, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I've never played Cult Simulator, but if there, I'm sure there's definitely a Cult Simulator, but I doubt it has the sexual initiations that often accompany joining a cult. I don't think it has those, which are something along the lines of the Joker 2, Rape Me by Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. Remember that one? So, spinalinjuries.com. Have you ever been to that website? So, yeah, the abdication of God's will. I've just been obsessed with that lately. We've been getting into dividing the day by seconds. Either you're living or you're not. Subject to your own will. Even if it's doing morphine, doing oxys or something like that, you know what I mean? Serving your own will. Your own will and willpower has gotten a bad rap. It's lost its true meaning. It's turned into a game of choice. Choice, choice. You can choose, choosy, choose. It's a game of choosies. Is it though? Or is it more baked in what must needs be done? Yeah, but when you serve your own will, you cook a spoon, do a shot, a smack, or you freaking put a few oxys up your rump. You know what I'm saying? Just wonder about those things lately. But thoughts from hell? Thoughts from hell. How can you not be intrigued by this? It's not supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about struggling with one's own weakness and one's own infirmities. It's about the struggle of it is the abdication of God's will. It's not that the battle needs to be man against man or self against self. These things have to be the right shape in order that they fit in one's mind. I don't know. I just feel like delving into this again. Tell me not to if I must cease. So in other words, once more, once again, the the enemy you have isn't yourself or your infirmities or your weakness. It's once again pride. It's once again only pride. And your wisdom is checked against how familiar you are with your own pride and the real manifestations of it. The time of the end language, what's that, Oz? It's not the enemy within. It's not. It's not even the voices. It's not even pushing the voices or the English in your mind or the demons or pushing it or resisting. It's not about resisting because resistance never ends. Faith requires submission to an extent or totally. I don't know. I don't know how to describe submission. Submission also has been misaligned by a bunch of different things. So it's not about fighting within yourself. There is warfare, but the warfare is to amplify one's invisible pride. And with pride there you can do nothing. There are a few other things you can do nothing without. But pride is one of those shadows on the wall, and one that causes the blindness that people do not have a clear conception of what pride really is. And my conception is as good as yours. We'll get to a new conception right here. Well, the conception is the hubris of choosing your own will and abdicating God's. That is the sin of pride. Putting yourself first, even your misery first, is a byproduct of pride. This conception most people do not grasp the totality of. What do you think of that? What do you think about that? Like the stream, or what do I do this? What do I do this for? You ever wonder that? So I will put that forth. The path to wisdom is identifying and I guess subduing or trampling or abdicating your pride, which is the complete service to your will, the service to your suffering, the service to your own beatings. No man can do you harm unless you injure yourself first. That's one of the church fathers, Father Padre. I would put that forth. That pride is the root of everything that ails you. You just don't know it. Most people do not consider themselves capable of being guilty of mortal sins. What do you think about that? That's why I like the Orthodoxy. And I mean, we did the Roman Catholicism for many years, but I kind of tuned that stuff out. But I like the Orthodoxy because it delves into, all of it revolves around not saying you were born and you're dirty and you're sinful and you're unclean and this and that, but that unless you are an ascended, learned master and you control your thoughts every second, then you are below. And the reminder of that is perhaps what makes you take command of your seconds. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Know what I'm saying? Hmm. Just really enjoy it. Just don't see why there should be anything in between or before or after one Lord. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Can't wrap my head around it. But I still enjoy it. Anyway, I that was just a big thing. When I got that prayer book, I finally started to understand that the majority of my seconds of thought were subpar. That's all. And it's pride to believe that you have your time and your thoughts under control. I just want to say that, that's all. Really enjoy it. Abdication. All folly comes from abdication of having a relationship with God at all, communicating with God, an abdication of communication, a relationship, a dialogue, even how to live or how you could be perfect. I'm just thinking out loud here. That's all. Just thinking out loud. So I was really enjoying a lot of these concepts. I really enjoyed them so much, or I've enjoyed them so much. How much? So much. Please like the stream. Just amazing to think of how much thought and how much energy. Like how you spend your seconds and the energy required to spend your thoughts is the expenditure of divine light or life force or energy, time, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. Your expenditure is what you think of. That's your spiritual currency. Your spiritual currency is what you think of. I'll just put that forth. Hmm. Hmm. It's amazing to think that you're in charge of the movies that play in your mind. And when you're watching another movie, you turn your own off, and it can bring you anywhere. So, oh shit! Give me a second here. Okay, so Anonymous, you're in between apartments. A positive saying, God bless you and your family, Chuck. Hey, thanks for that. Also, have you read Forcellin? Forcellin by Gene Wolfe? I do remember that one. I do remember that in Castle of Days. I do remember that. It's freaking weird, man. Can you explain it to me? Marby Peddle, thanks for the 15 bones. Yo, Chuck, glad to catch a stream live. Listening to the English thoughts lately and falling back into some old habits. I know. I think I used to have that willpower, but I lost it. Remember? You remember those days? Remember those days? What is lost shall be found. Know that. Not having complete faith in everything you need, again, is abdication of God's will. So even the spiritual work and mental toil, or whatever you want to call it, of playing the projector, whatever, manifesting, whatever it is in your mind, it's necessary to even be alive. The faith. If your faith is dead, you cannot grow. And 100% faith in yourself is required. Otherwise, you abdicate the will of God. That's all. That's all. What is the first step you would take towards getting it back and making it out? I guess listening to all this. I like the prayer book, Orthodox Christian Prayers. I'm telling you. Anyone have a link to that book? St. Tikhon's Monastery Press? I like that one. I would say get that. That's all. I would say get that. Get that. I love it. I love it. But it's not about, dude, picking yourself up by your bootstraps or, like, oh, it's your willpower, discipline. And I hear that about discipline, willpower. I hear that. But it's about realizing that remaining in hell is abdicating God's will for you. Guy goes to work, comes back, and is, oh my, see, I don't even remember the details, Mac Nasty. What the hell, man? Should I reread it? It does sound sickening. I'm about to reread it. Good man, it's hard to find. What's this? Stimpy? Ren and Stimpy have a press? That's it. I really, really recommend that one. It's the biggest tool that I've ever seen. It's the biggest tool that I've ever had and ever used, in my opinion, in the path to discernment and the path to discipline that aren't for reasons of your own. You understand what I'm saying? You will be fighting yourself if you look at it that way. I should be president. I shouldn't be doing this right now. I should. What I'm saying, being strictly subject to your own will, doing things for the wrong reasons will create an unnecessary internal struggle that will be perpetual until you get above it. That's all. Having faith in yourself is a requirement to even being alive. I'll be right back. Who can survive without Chalky? No man alive. So I'm saying I'm putting that forth, okay? Is this Killer Cross? That's what I see? Hold on a second here. Wait, where are we at? Excuse me. Yo, Cross, we've been getting into some crazy stuff tonight. Crazy stuff tonight. Thanks for the 5 bones, pal. Who would make a better president, Dave or the Goblin King from the Labyrinth? You mean like the power of the babe? Voodoo? Either doing speeches, either doing speeches would be in a musical format, you feel? Yeah, you know Dave can sing and dance. I mean, you know Goblin King, he's got a thing for he's got some proclivities I think he's wrestling with. But still he can dance. He can sing, I know that. Who is going to win that though? I mean, I like who doesn't appreciate David Bowie? But I mean, I guess you can consider all those guys kind of weird. But Dave, I think just even considering the criminality of his father's criminality, I think that Dave would be more inspired to serve justice than old Dave Bowie. Dave Bowie's just probably obsessed about red shoes and going back to Saturn or something like that. I don't know. Was Mike Jackson? Was Dave obsessed about that sort of stuff? A little piece of me died. So good how people remember that. Those were the days, weren't they? What's this? Is this me? Jonathan Kelly, thanks for the 20 bones, pal. How do you move knowledge of God's love from the mind to the heart? I think it's everything I've been saying today. Everything I've been saying today. The mind and the heart. It's the heart. I don't know. It's hard to put to words. I mean, obviously, but the mind and knowledge when it's in your mind is knowledge applied at your own whims, serving your own will. I will put that forth. Your mind is susceptible to these things. I would say that when you get knowledge of God in your heart, you could define it as wisdom then, that sort of transmutation. And again, it would be the serving of your divine existence, to put it another way, instead of what you think you need or how you're feeling or what you're inclined to gravitate towards or whatever. It's the knowledge of one's own pride that will bar a transmutation of knowledge residing in the mind to wisdom which resides in the heart. I would say. What do you think about that? I put extra cream in it. Buggy. Thanks for the 10 bones, pal. I'm liking the viewer count, Charles. Hey, thanks. It's so nice. Really appreciate it. Hey, like the stream, please. Awesome job getting the people the info they need. Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I try, and I could always do better, of course. Always trying to do better. Gosh darn it. Member. Blue Pyramids, thanks for the membership. What's this? Buggy, we got everyone here? Yeah. Oh, we got Symbol Man for 15. Thoughts on free will in the context of this? I'll tell you, it's been the talk of free will for a few days. I don't know how to summarize it again. Well, I'm sure you're still here enjoying this. Tashi? Thanks for the sawbuck, pal. Charles and Jay Dyer are the new wave save. I appreciate it. We got along well. I really had a fun time with him. Metaphysical Mike, thanks for the 20 bones, pal. Father Moses had a thanks to the Sawbach, Uzak. Father Moses had a video uploaded today about this topic. Circular thought is from the devil. Good, 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 good. I would recommend that channel to everyone. That sounds good. That sounds good. Okay. Let me know if I missed you. Dr. Gas, thanks for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Really appreciate that. It's so nice of you. People gotta get the word. Who else can chew it up? I don't know. You know what I mean. Put that forth. Pride. It's just like life energy, divine energy, motivation itself, whatever. I don't know what it is. Sex energy. I don't know what it is. Life energy. If it's spent, you cannot do spiritual work. If you're filled with pride, and I still struggle with better definitions of it, then it's going to blunt your wisdom because you won't truly know what you need or want. You won't know if you're a Mr. Golem. Is it not? Is it pronounced Golem? Gollum? Now is that strictly Lord of the Rings? I always thought Golem or whatever. I thought people just say, "Oh, Frankenstein's a golem." Just figured that was a sort of universal thing. Is that the incorrect pronunciation? Please like stream, yeah. Anyway, I would just put that forth. The sneakiest, most insidious, most intelligent brain patterns. They are these sins or traps or snares or whatever. Anyway, chalky. Add cream in it. Make it extra. It's cold. That's a good sign. I'll put that forth. Hey, I think I had a few more ideas on the subject. No, okay. Deep knowing. Yeah, we talked about the deep knowing. There's the fucked straight game show. We were talking about that with Batman and all that. Joker was a good drop. Just some funny jokes and stuff. Yeah, there's some good stuff in here. But it was mainly we got into all of it. Oh, gotta put that down. It's like the scrying mirror. So I'm still enjoying this territory here. I think we've made some pretty good ground here. I think we've made some pretty good ground on these topics. Jonathan Kelly, thanks for the 20 bones, pal. Do you feel cigar smoke senses the mind, purifying the nose? If so, any cigars you recommend? Is that nose? I enjoy cigars, and as long as I'm spitting, I'll be spitting in something. It's nasty. Just smoking, swallowing it hurts. I hate that. I don't think it's good at all. I still have a bunch of cigars from Baldanders, and they're still all in good shape. I love cigars the most. Can't smoke in here though. I don't think it's a good idea. But it could be a sort of an incense. Could be an aroma pleasing to God. Could smoke out demons like sage. Cigars are the best. But recommendations, dude, it's just the majority of my cigars I've smoked in this world have been sent to me by Barbatus. So he's going to know everything. I'm partial to weird ones. Yo, Jessica Drake, how you doing? You have fun at Skankfest or what? It's hard. It's so hard to handle. It's so crazy. Yeah, they're good. They're good, and it's an aroma pleasing to God. Best time ever. Good, good. It's just so crazy, man. I just can't even believe it. Yeah, we were into some pretty hardcore stuff, and we got to everything. Not everything, but we've got plenty of topics, topical things, movies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can delve into a little bit of that. Just doing some void grasping, making some good territory on that stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's settled for now. Pretty sure it's settled for now. I don't know if I've ever had the old Cuban style barbatus. He's gonna know the suggestions. All of them I've ever smoked that he's given me have been so good. They've hours and hours, hundreds of hours of conversation they have facilitated. I'll be silly for a moment though. I like the Drew Estate, the Java Mint. Now I know that's maybe technically embarrassing to admit, but I like those. And I do like the I don't know, I just like the incensey ones, the flavored ones. They're like incense. That's probably why I like them. It feels like I'm the Orthodoxy. I like those. Yeah, I remember when you said I used to think about that all the time, Barbatus. Off anytime there's a mention of cigars or anyone smoking, it's like a bubble cloud of a remembrance. I see the box, an entire box of Java Mint. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be lots of conversation, lots of good taste, lots of smooth buzz, and lots of spitooning. So you got to be careful you don't get dehydrated when you smoke cigars. But I've just been doing a little bit of vapes. Just off smoking again. You know how it is. Just absolutely ripping heaters. Okay. I'm getting there. You know how what Caesar always said, right? You know what Jay Wu? Who's the guy? Q Aiden Spaghetti, the guy that used to get an audience with a former president of the United States. It's so funny. Kyrus, what's up, player? Thanks for the sawbuck, pal. Feel bad for people who like RPGs, but I haven't played Dragon's Dogma, Dark Horizon. I wouldn't dare play any games. I'll straight up go. I'll turn around and I'll find myself in hell. I'll say, how did I get here? It was this damn game that brought me to hell. Dragon's dog shit. Wow, man. Wow, man. It's pretty good. So, I'm just really happy with what we've achieved here tonight in regards to willpower and abdication and prayer and pride. I'm really happy about that. Just want to say that. But I will not be seeing the new Joker. And I mean, when's the last time? I mean, gosh darn it, when's the last time I saw a movie with Mr. Phoenix? Had to have been Gladiator. I mean, when the heck is the last time I saw? I mean, I've only seen him in 8 millimeter and in Gladiator. I'm not saying he's bad. Oh, the Master. Saw the Master crash. Yeah, I actually did see the Master. Yep, I actually do remember that. I like to call the Master. I like to call it the only single scene I remember from it. I like to call that movie the hand job because that's the out of anything that's what the movie means to me. And I regret watching 8 millimeter, of course. It's like this. Oh gosh, back when I was a kid, back when I was a young lad, I'm like, oh man, it was like watching Videodrome. I'm like, oh man, it was worse than Videodrome though. I don't know if Cross still here. Have you seen Dead Ringers? And I do have to rewatch Videodrome. Why not? And yeah, anyway, you know how it is. But maybe I should. It's been hard to watch movies lately. They hijack your mind. You know how it is. I always wanted to put on Escape from Sobibor. With Rutger Hauer and the lady from Gorky Park, Alan Arkin. Remember? Please like the stream. I Claudius, thanks for the 8 months, pal. It's soon, before the new year. Claudius. Claudius. So I'll just say that. Before the new year. That's the word on the streets that I'm that I'm privy to. Oh man. Yeah, that's some heavy. We got into some heaviness. Okay, I mean, yeah. Movies, seeing as though we're on the topic, movies, what you let into your mind, the projector of your mind being hijacked, thoughts create vibrations, we could put that forth. Material, you could put forth that it is a manifestation of will and of thought and of word. The thought comes before the word. Therefore, there it is. But the damage that is done by Hollywood and by entertainment, by music and movies, it's an interesting industry that sort of a certain kind of type are drawn to it. It's pretty irrefutable, and we've heard reasons for many, many years, but not exactly the best reasons. Best reasons we usually discuss here, and a few other classics that discuss, let's say, occultism or hypnosis, witchcraft, black magic in Hollywood or entertainment, etc., etc., etc. The acting, the performance of rituals, blah blah blah. You know how it is. The old world, the old gods, the old religion. You know what I'm saying? Tastes so good with extra cream. Mm. So, cinema is the manipulation of light. Light enters through the eyes. Your eyes got you got photo sensors, photo wrappers. You know what I'm saying? Things enter your eyes, light enters your eyes. I've always heard that at least that I don't know if it's Satan or Lucifer. I don't know if they're different. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't pretend to understand. I do remember that Lucifer was the god of music. The god, it must be the god of the material realm and the god of light. Cinema, just frames of light slapped together. Enter the subconscious through your eyes. Let me just say that. So you know inherently, okay, let me put it this way. If energy in this world, if life energy in this world were distributed and exercised properly, then there would be no need for entertainment. The fact that entertainment is required in this world is an indicator that all energy, time, money, and attention has been hijacked and is under occupation. The fact alone that these things are required and that are such big industries in this life, the fact alone. That's why I say that cinema is inherently evil. You think I've been joking about it all these years? Who had the balls to say it? It was your boy, me. Everyone thought it was queer to say that. Some sort of a puritanical philosophy. It actually wasn't. Strictly strategic. Strictly military capacity that I think of these things. In what other lens would you allow yourself to see anything with other than that? I can prove it. Poor disaster relief in the year 2023 with the most advanced civilization in history with unlimited money. Poor disaster response is an act of war. But that line of thinking has been bred out of our culture and of our minds. That alone is an act of war. You kidding me? That's supposed to happen? Now you know that there are no civilians. Well, people want to be left alone, of course, but well, you're not allowed to be left alone. I couldn't give you the reasons why. I'm sure we could discover them. I just the complete stamping out of brain patterns and thought forms and thought patterns is necessary in a world to be completely borged out. Well, anyway, I don't want to keep going into that. So I would put forth that cinema is an arm of the military. That's all. It's pretty obvious by now, isn't it? Commercials, marketing, kid shows, TV shows, everything. You see what's inside of it. You see that there's undisclosed witchcraft and hypnotism in everything. If it's undisclosed, that means it's an act of war. The use of hypnosis and Jedi mind tricks and witchcraft against sovereigns is an act of war. That's all. You didn't know that? Oh, it's okay. Know this. Know the spine. So I would say that. Um, we all enjoy cinema. We all enjoy entertainment. I'm not saying step away from everything. I'm not. You know, you're smart enough. Hopefully, everyone here is wise enough to know what they enjoy or how much to, the usual. Hollywood is used, music is used, the TV is used to degrade the ethics and the moral mores of the culture under occupation. That's all. You remember when there was an invasion in the Middle East and they started blasting porn on all the TVs? You know how you have porn blasted on your TV? That's interesting, isn't it? Interesting, isn't it? How that works? Oh, you think it's used as a weapon of war on others, but not on you? Well, anyway, I don't want to keep railing about that unless we can get to something even crazier. We were talking about movies. I would put forth that movies in color are more damaging to the psyche and the subconscious than movies in black and white. And realistic death portrayed on camera it does snuff damage to your brain. Some people even say the actors really die on camera and they're all clones. So there's real snuff on camera. Some people say that. I need to finish this before it gets hot. I think my teeth are about ready to fall out. So I would say that I'd put that forth. I like that. I like that topic. And while we're on that topic, ugh, the history of the world is riddled with acts of war on the domestic front. It's a bit Riddler. Remember, Jim? Gimme! You bastard. Where is he? Bastard! Give me a second. My spine feels good. Give me a second. Waste everyone's time for. Bastard. I thought there was another one that was good. It's really sickening scrolling here for pictures. Why don't I have an AI machine to find things for you? You gotta do everything manually, even 2024. Everything's still manual. Oh, Manua from TNG. Yeah, remember the Manua episode? Well, this is the best one that I can find. Was it worth it? Okay, so there's that. War crimes. They're not even there. I don't think there's any such thing as a crime against humanity. Or what is humanity, mankind? I think it's all war crimes here. Because the world is pretty much a war zone. And we've all seen this before. We've all played Deus Ex. We know the FEMA memes. And again, I have no idea what's really going on in the news, and I don't even could all be AI. But just generally speaking, I just give disclaimers. We've all been hearing the demoralization campaign of that FEMA is has billions of dollars to relocate guests into the place, but then they're complaining about no money for disaster relief and this act of war that's happening right now. Yeah, it's really pretty interesting, and it's a pretty fair bit of demoralization. It's a fair bit of demoralization that I'd rather not participate in. And I have not really smart enough or with it enough to know ways to help and this and that. I'm not going to be making a fool out of myself trying that. But I find it's a pretty interesting demoralization campaign, and an act of war I think is fine. It's pretty interesting. And it's just, what else can you say about it other than it's pretty hardcore times we're living in? But anytime something hardcore happens, anywhere in the world, let's say this country, for example, let's say Ruby Ridge or Waco, the craziest war crimes can happen right under your nose. And nothing. I mean, I know this is a big machine and it's kind of hard to boil this phenomenon down. And I guess I'm trying to, but I'm trying not to be demoralizing either. Crazy things have happened in the past, and I'm not surprised at seeing this. And there's so much noise in the media, and there's so much noise with everything. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to have 50,000 grievances that you're campaigning for in your life? What are you gonna fucking 1,500? And I don't know if that's true. They were arresting people, sending people back, refusing aid. It's that I don't want to get dark. But what incentive is there for FEMA to even help people? What is the incentive? When you see that the punishment for not helping is zero, what is the incentive to actually help? There is none. It's just a show. And it's just a prevention of community. I'd put that forth. But it's dark. That's very dark. Remember the FEMA coffins all those years ago when the government was buying billions of hollow point. Remember that? Remember those days back in '08? You don't remember those days? Social Security, Weather Administration, all those, they're buying billions of rounds of hollow point. Oh, you don't remember that? Weird. Please like the stream. So, I don't want to rave too much about the reality of the world. I just remember stories. I don't know, like must be conspiracy sites or something. I don't even want to look it up, but I just remember some dark stories coming out of, I don't know if it was FEMA stories out of wherever there was floods or hurricanes. I don't know if it was Katrina or someplace in Texas. I don't remember, but this is a bit of a gross, a bit of a grim story. I guess I'll just leave it at that. Ooh. Just look how much is in the news. What is there to be said other than what I have already said? World's a war zone. Even domestic, as you're seeing with bad disaster response. You need not wait for a foreign invasion. You need not wait. Need not wait for boots on the ground. They've been on the ground since before you were born. That's how it works, Chuck. Just how it is. That's how it's been made to be. Dark. Anyway, I don't want to really rave too much about that. It's just it's really dark and very sickening. Even some of the stuff that alleged stories I've heard from even from this is really it's a bit of a thing. It's crazy. National Guard, Special Guard, politicians, blah blah blah. They don't have a clue. Yeah, they don't have a clue. Politicians don't have a clue. Yeah, they actually doing all this unintentionally by mistake. You see what I defined last time on the stream, I believe, is that one of the job of a politician and someone in a bureaucracy is to placate by way of expert level, top God level excuse making and misdirection and diffusal of grievances and misdirection onto straw men. So that's their job. Their job is to make excuses and to misdirect. So of course they're going to come out and say there's actually not enough money. Come out and say something, anything at all. Go out and say anything. There's not enough tires for the cars, so we couldn't get say anything at all, anything. There's not enough women on the crew, so we refuse to go. You say anything at all, and it's still a show. And it's a hard thought, and I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it because it's just so dark. The thought that forces want you dead and would allow you to die is a grim thought, and we should move on. California voter ID? Woo. People voting. Vote? Who's voting? Who's voting for disaster relief? Who's voting for I don't know, what do you call it? Top tier disaster relief? What are you voting for this year? What are you voting for? Special neighbors being flown in? What are you voting for? Are you kidding me? Yeah, voter ID illegal. Yeah, well, who counts the votes? Even if Mickey Mouse votes, who counts the votes? Jack Doherty, McLaren crash on stream. What's that? Weird OnlyFans streamer? What the? What's this? He's sucking on rod. Let me see this. Who is this guy? Is a crash out? Does he explode? It'd probably be hard to drive these things. I just don't know what to say. It's a weird looking car. I mean, we could put it up just for. I don't know. It won't even load anymore. I'm closing the tab. I'm intrigued about all this stuff. I would say I'm intrigued to quite intrigued. What's this? Let me see this for a second. Oh, hold on. Yo, B, thanks for the 15 bones, pal. Free will is a farce. God's will is all that matters, though we must freely will ourselves to God. All right. All right. Because you know what I mean. Might as well just delve into this one more time. The stars that you're born under, the meddling of the stars, the meddling of the heavenly bodies, the meddling of the moon, the meddling of all these things does something to you. It's meddling. It's like a sitcom that they're watching, but they can actually exhibit their will onto the participants. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like you watching, I don't know, a soap opera, and you praying on the other end would make a difference, or you shining on the other end will make a difference in the personality of people. It's weird. I hear you though, but the adherence to one's own free will is the the fall, is the mortal sin of pride. Strict adherence to one's own free will is the fall. I'm intrigued by that, aren't you? Enzo, thanks for the 15 bones. He's doing the tip. Do a dance for you. The tip link on the description. Hey Chuck, I'd like to thank you for all you've done doing, all you've done during the years, especially the religious aspect of your reflections, which made me finally pick up a Bible to read. Isn't it so good? Vulgate to be specific. Is that from the Latin? Greetings from France, and what is left of it. Isn't it sweet? You've got a lot of new neighbors lately, haven't you, over the past generation? Isn't that lovely? Yeah, who doesn't love good neighbors? They say good fences make good neighbors. Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. I'm trying to step it up. Trying to step it up. Thanks for that. Anonymous, thanks for the 15 bones. Project Black Star theme, mass termination of non-entities, occurrence, definitive, function 1, to re-evolve humanity, function 2, strict insertion of logic-based social doctrine, function 3, anti-dysgenics. And what did they mean by this? Oh my God, I don't know. What's that mean? Yo, Dimos, what's up? Yeah. There was something there. Yeah, evolution and all that. You wonder if the shadows and the blindness still remain. There is no such thing as evolution. I'll say it again. Scary thoughts. Light energy, how it's spent, what it means to spend well. I don't know. I just like that stuff. I like that stuff. And hey, what can I say? What's this right here? Barbatus, thanks for the 15 bones, pal. Extremely early photographic techniques took 10 minutes or more for an exposure. So a normal scene with people moving around would develop as a scene with no people in it, hence the motionless figures. I'm intrigued by that. Okay. Joseph, thanks for the 15 bones. Spent this last 10 years working construction nonstop and bought a shack in bumfuck nowhere with my good credit. Now unemployed and sending chat complimentary of Chase cred maxing. Cheers. Hey, thanks so much for that, pal. Sorry to hear those troubles, and we all get the doghouse sometimes, you know. Time. Regret? Time? What's that? That's crazy. Bottomless pit? What? Oh no, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, what a nice night. What is it? Okay, it's nice and early. Oh my god, the snapperoo! What else is happening in the news that was. My mind gets erased when I come up here. It's like Men in Black. It gets completely erased. Like nothing else is going on other than the holy quest. I think we did it good. Does anyone else has got some insane topics here? I think we did it pretty good. Oh, it's like a spinal treatment that I'm giving myself. Almost time to put on Excalibur again, I think. Yeah, the heavy stuff we got into. Oh my goodness. How are we supposed to process all that? Process that, I say. Process it. If you're tired of hell, I'm just saying. I'll give you one more. Dr. Guest, thanks for the membership, pal. Really appreciate that. It's been a nice night. It's been a real nice night. We have to do. We got to do the book club. I have to evolve this situation into sort of a book club that we're enjoying together. Yeah, whatever. You know how it is. I'm in it. I'm inside of it. I'm inside of it lately. That's that. We got into some crazy stuff tonight. Really happy about the subject matter tonight. Yeah. See, reading these books is doing me some good. Pretty happy about that. Yeah, do a Camp of the Saints refresher. Do you have any extras, Barbatus? It's just what that's Revelation, right? Is that's like heaven war on heaven? And what was the camp? The camp were the saints and the righteous that were assembled before heaven was opened up, or something. I don't remember. Like, what was that? Some sort of insane thing. Oh no, well, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll be doing reviews on the book here. Just so strange, like a camp assembled that's saints are they're lodging there. It's just so strange. Okie, get hyped for Chundone Briscoe coming out soon. There's a Chundone. We haven't seen a Chundone since the last one in Man's World, which I thought was pretty decent. I laugh when I read it. But we have a fresh one that we've been talking about for too long. Beauregard's Business is going to be so. I'm just trying to do the Lord's holy will. That's all. That's all. No more of my will. God's will at Chundone is coming out. Well, I think we've done it good tonight. I think we've enjoyed tonight to the fullest. We're gonna do it. Enter Chundone. I'm just gonna have to put it up on YouTube. Like it's been like, I. Otherwise, I'm working on oiling everything up, and within the next 15 years, I'll have things well oiled rods. Don't forget. Don't forget about what we spoke about tonight. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, we were exhausted tonight. We got such good stuff. How do you even top that? How do you even top what we've even gotten into? You can't. Bone chilling. We got a bit bone chilling tonight. I'm gonna hit the old dusty trail. Heading out for some R&R. Coming back for the Palace tomorrow, 7 p.m. The Palace, happening on the Palace. We're doing the Palace tomorrow. Oh my good. Oh, 5:30. 5:30 tomorrow. My goodness. 5:30? Let's do it. Why not? We're going to do it. We're going to have a good time like we do every time. But it's time to head out. Ponder those ideas. They must be pondered well. See you guys tomorrow. Peace, everybody. It's been a good one. Don't stop. It's the faith. It's the faith. Yeah, don't forget that stuff. It's easy to forget. The world makes you forget. The English voices in your mind make you forget. Everyone enjoy. Keep it real. Thanks for coming.